DC Universe Presents number 3, written by Paul Jenkins, art by Bernard Chang, aka Deadman number 3 in this particular case. We last left off with Deadman invading the library where his story is told and finding out that everybody is all damned and, just not good news overall. This issue picks up, he's tied up the librarian lady, and he's just trying to figure out what he does next as he's trying to decode his own story. And the librarian's just constantly shouting out, just like, "Oh, you won't get away with this. We're hyper powerful beings on the celestial plane," and blah blah blah. And Boston just knocks out the one thug that's there again. He's like, "All right, so let me make this clear. I have the means and the intent to hurt you if you don't help me out." And he's like, "Psh. Like you can do anything to me." And he's like, "Well, I can burn down this library." And she's like, "Okay, all right, well, I guess I could help you. So the answers that you want lie with a being called Son of the Morning, like dawn morning, not like grief morning. And apparently, when all the angels were cast out of heaven and blah, 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 like Lucifer, they all went unwillingly. They were cast out. Son of the Morning was the first angel to go willingly. He walked himself out of heaven, and he was like, "No, this sucks." And so now he's down on Earth, hiding. Apparently in the exact same Gotham Fun Park that he was in, I believe in issue 1. So he's like, "All right, so I'm going to go find this guy. I'm going to go get my answers, and I'm going to take this book with me so that you can't follow me where I'm going." And she's like, "Whoa, hold on. My books, they aren't going to do any good for you." And he's like, "I don't know. I was thinking of learning some Aramaic Braille. It's all good." And he's like, hold on. "You should know the Son of the Morning is going to ask for a great and terrible cost." And he's like, "What do you mean cost?" And he's like, "Usually it's a soul." And by the way, this entire time, like, it's just bouncing back and forth of like, "Oh, I shouldn't say anything, but I will." And she's also losing a bunch of flesh throughout this and turning more and more demonic. But she's like, "Oh, you're going to have to give up a soul, or else you'll never be able to get what you seek. But as soon as you leave here, it won't matter because all these demons are going to track you down." He's like, "All right, well, I'm taking your book, so it's not like it's even going to matter. Bye." And he leaves as she's screaming after him. Boston goes back to where he left the guy who he's like supposed to be helping the life of, the army vet, and he's still talking to the girl at the table that Boston set him up with, and it's going super well. Boston walks up possessing the body of, I think it was one of the vampires from the previous issue. And he's like, "Hey, remember me, buddy? We're old friends. We used to live together." And the vet's like, I don't think." Boston takes that opportunity to switch bodies over. And he continues on the date with the lady. We show the next morning he's waking up after a hangover because he drank too much because he forgot that his body weight was a bit down considering he didn't have legs. There's a report on the news about a terrorist group called the League of Anarchy who's just responsible. It's not like supervillains, it's just people with guns and bombs. But they're making threats against a bunch of groups and stuff like that. And Deadman sees that as an opportunity, and he's like, bingo. But first we get a flashback to a bunch of the people that Deadman helped out, specifically one named Larry Clock. I don't know. He was a death row inmate that was completely innocent. He was tasked with saving his life, making sure he didn't go to death row. And he kept trying, taking every route he could, but he genuinely could not find a way to save this man's life. And as he was sitting, like, Boston stayed in his body until the very last second before his lethal injection, trying to find some way out, but he just couldn't do it. And he was like, all right, like, that was what really set him down the path of, is this really what I'm here for? Because like, this is a complicated thing. This isn't as much as just going in and quantum leaping someone's life. This is a complicated thing. But he puts that aside as he goes, and he sees that the League of Anarchy is making a gun deal with just some random mafia guys. And he takes this as his perfect opportunity. He jumps in the body of one of the mafia guys, shouts for all of his mafia friends that it's a setup, that they were trying to stiff him on the cash. And he hops in the truck and drives away with the guns, away from the scene as everyone else is shooting at each other. Mind you, for whatever reason, he was actually right that they were trying to stiff him on the cash. And I don't know why he knew he was right, but he was. But anyway, he takes the guns and he hides out in a self-storage unit and he just puts them away. He doesn't do anything with them yet, and I don't know what his plan is, but he's just putting them away for now. So he goes back into the body of the vet. He goes to the Gotham Fun Park again, and he's just looking around. He's trying to find where this son of the morning is hiding. He doesn't know if it's a he, if it's a she, if it's someone in power, if it's some homeless guy. Has no clue what he's looking for. But as he's looking around, he's called out by someone saying like, perhaps you're looking for me because I see you as you truly are. And it is just a straight up like, it's like the devil pretty much. He's blind, he's got some wavy hair, he's missing an eye, and he's standing in front of a ride called the Devil's Dive. Like, he's clearly bad news, but he's like, how would you like to go for a ride, dead man? And that's where we leave off. I liked it. It was good. I think the best part about it, honestly, is the middle bit where he's just talking about like the Larry Clock guy of like, it's just a quick 2-page little thing, but it completely tells you everything about this guy, how he was completely innocent. Everyone knew it on the inside. He always maintained his innocence. Deadman did everything he could, and it just didn't work out. And it was just a really well-told story, smack dab in the middle of this okay story. Because the first half is just him arguing with this librarian for literally like 5 pages. And then the back half is just setting up for the next issue. So, if anything, that's what's elevating it slightly. The rest of the issue is just, getting to the next plot point of, here's someone who can actually help me with what I want. I'm going to give this one a 7 overall. It comes a lot down to art, because the art is still pretty good overall. It's got a pretty stock standard feel to it, but something in the colors really makes it pop. But no, it really comes down to that middle bit for the writing of the Larry story. It's just that's just a perfect little, if there was like a Deadman 80-year anniversary sort of thing, that would be a perfect little slice right in the middle there. Just 2 pages of, here's Deadman, and he just couldn't do it. It's just a nice little cutaway story, and I very much like it. So, DC Universe Presents number 3 gets a 7.